The afternoon sun cast a warm glow over the lodge grounds, the pond shimmering quietly under its reflection. The family was enjoying a brief respite after the previous confrontations, unaware that Karen was preparing her next attempt at asserting control. Her obsession had escalated to an audacious new level. She had set her sights on my credentials, believing that by claiming I didn't fit here, she could undermine every action taken to secure the property. What she failed to realize, however, was that those credentials carried authority far beyond her comprehension. Karen arrived in her black SUV, documents clutched tightly in one hand, her phone pressed to her ear. Loyalists spilled from the vehicle, poised to enforce her imagined authority, their expressions filled with confidence and aggression. She demanded that I hand over my credentials and attempted to intimidate me with accusations of trespass and noncompliance. "You have no right here. Step aside and surrender your credentials immediately," she shouted, her voice carrying across the water. I stepped forward calmly, allowing the weight of my presence to settle the air. Credentials were displayed prominently, reflecting sunlight as I held them for all to see. These credentials are legitimate and grant oversight authority over the agency that regulates your association. Any attempt to interfere with me or remove these credentials is illegal and will be met with immediate consequences, I stated, my tone measured but absolute. Karen's eyes widened in shock as she realized the magnitude of the mistake she had made. The very authority she sought to undermine placed me above her association's power. Her loyalists faltered, the bravado on their faces replaced with uncertainty. Every move they made was now scrutinized, documented, and subject to immediate enforcement action. I signaled subtly to my tactical team, who had been stationed strategically around the property. Former Marines, law enforcement veterans, and trained family members moved into positions designed to contain any escalation, while drones hovered overhead, capturing every angle. Karen's intrusion would be neutralized before it could escalate further. Frustration mounting, Karen attempted to advance, waving papers and shouting demands. I remained calm, stepping slightly forward, asserting presence without aggression. "You are on private property. You have no authority here. This is your final warning to withdraw." At that moment, the reality of her exposure hit her. She was no longer dictating the narrative. Her every attempt at intimidation had been countered with preparation, legal authority, and tactical oversight. The loyalists, recognizing the futility of their actions, hesitated, unsure whether to act or retreat. Karen's calls to emergency services were frantic, filled with exaggeration and panic, but the responding officers were already briefed on the history of harassment and the legal authority I held. When they arrived, they confirmed my position, my credentials, and the illegality of her interference. Karen's attempts at coercion and intimidation were rendered meaningless. Within minutes, the situation was fully contained. Karen and her loyalists were escorted from the grounds, humiliated and powerless. Every motion, every attempted action, had been captured by drones and strategically documented, providing irrefutable evidence of harassment and unlawful interference. I walked along the dock with my spouse, the infant in arms, observing the calm water reflecting the golden afternoon sun. "She believes intimidation will grant her authority," I said quietly. "No," my spouse replied, eyes scanning the perimeter. "Every escalation exposes her obsession and highlights the strength of your preparation. Aggression cannot succeed against foresight, law, and documented authority." The estate was serene once again. Karen's interference had been neutralized, her attempts at undermining my credentials fully thwarted. The property, the family, and the lodge remained untouched and secure, a testament to strategic foresight, legal authority, and tactical precision. Once again, obsession and aggression had failed against preparation and legitimate oversight, leaving Karen powerless and the estate firmly under protection.